Hey, Scott from Nine Will Strength Studio. While there are a lot of things that can get in our way of achieving success in whatever area that is, but particularly in the health and fitness realm, I think the biggest thing that gets in the way is ourselves, our mindset, the things that we believe to be true, our belief systems, the things that we've been taught that may or may not be true, but we can't seem to let go of them. And one area I really see this in is nutrition, dieting, calorie counting, all that crap. Now, as some of you may know, a lot of my experience early on came in the world of bodybuilding. I learned a lot of what I knew at that time from being a bodybuilder, working with competitive bodybuilders and other athletes, having a coach of my own. And also what I learned there is what not to do in normal life. What applies to athletes in highly competitive sports is not necessarily something you can translate into real life. So, for example, following a bodybuilding diet is not necessarily the best way to go for normal people to lose weight and body fat, considering the fact that many bodybuilders will put on 30 to 40 pounds within a month of their after completing their competition. That is not going to be a desirable result for most people, and something we want to avoid. Many times bodybuilding diets are way too restrictive. They don't provide enough nutrients, not enough fiber. There's a whole lot of reasons. It's a competitive sport. It's not necessarily a healthy lifestyle when you get to the competitive level. That said, there is no group of athletes in the world that loses fat more effectively than bodybuilders. Bodybuilders, men, women, performance-enhancing drugs or not, routinely get into a competition at absurd levels of body fat, 3 to 5% for men, maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 for women, but something extraordinary. So while we can't take their exact diets and replicate them and think that that's going to be something that's a good idea or healthy to do long term, what we can do and should do is learn from those people and what they are doing and some of the concepts and see how we can apply them. So the number one concept that we're going to talk about here that stands out is the fact that not one competitive bodybuilder that I have ever worked with, met, read about, talked to, I've been following it for 25 years, not one of them has ever achieved that kind of loss of body fat by simply counting calories and reducing caloric intake. Not one of them has just kept eating their normal stuff but just ate less of it. Never, ever, ever. So the calorie counting myth, the calories in, calories out shit that you hear and read all the time, that's great. It probably makes sense in a laboratory or in a science lab somewhere, but it's not how it works. You guys know, you've tried it, you've seen people that try it. I see it every single day. People that don't appear to be eating a whole lot, they really aren't from what I can see, and they are not losing weight, and if anything, they're gaining weight. Now, contrast that with the competitive athlete, the bodybuilder, the very muscular, fit person that you know that seems to be constantly eating all the time, right? Well, that's not an accident, and it's also not they eat all the time because they're muscular and lean and they can, and the person who's heavy has to eat less and isn't as lucky as the person who's muscular. It would appear that way, but really, part of the reason that person is lean and muscular is because they eat all the time. You've got to fuel the machine. You cannot eat crap all the time. You cannot eat whatever you want all the time, but you have to fuel your body. So simply having half an English muffin and a cup of coffee for breakfast, skipping lunch, and then eating a light dinner is not going to work. Everybody who's tried to lose weight has tried that approach. There's a number of reasons why it doesn't work. We don't need to get all the reasons why. All we need to know is it doesn't. So don't be afraid of food. You have to eat breakfast. You have to eat every couple hours. You have to eat often. It will feel like eating is harder than working out. It'll feel like eating is more of a job than training. You will definitely be more annoyed with how much and what you have to eat than with your workout program. If that's how you feel, that's totally normal and you're on the right track, okay? So do not try to go by it by skipping meals and by just simply eating less. It won't work. It will save you a lot of time. Don't be afraid of food. Eat. We can talk in more detail in future videos, and you can message me directly to learn more about what you should be eating. But let's just suffice by saying you cannot be afraid of food and think that you will lose weight and keep it off by just eating less. Have a good day.